You are born into a place where opportunity feels distant, where money moves faster in the shadows than in daylight. One day, a door opens, and you step into a path that seems powerful at first, but becomes more dangerous with every step upward. This is how your life unfolds. Level 1, the soldier. You are at the very bottom of the organization. At this stage, you are known simply as a soldier, someone who follows orders without questions. Every day begins with uncertainty. You stand on street corners watching passing cars, pretending to look normal while constantly scanning for anything unusual. The money you receive feels significant compared to what you had before, but deep inside you already understand something important: the risk is much larger than the reward. You hear stories every week about people at your level being arrested during routine patrols or disappearing after police raids at dawn. Sirens instantly raise your heartbeat. Even when nothing happens, the fear never leaves your mind. You begin sleeping less, always ready to answer a late-night call telling you to move somewhere else immediately. At home, you cannot explain your work to family members. You speak carefully, hide details, and avoid questions. Friends who once knew you start keeping their distance, unsure of who you are becoming. You tell yourself this is temporary, just a first step, just a way to earn fast money. But slowly you realize something: many who enter at this level never climb higher. Some end up in prison within months. Others vanish before anyone notices. And tonight, as you stand quietly watching the empty street, you wonder how long you will remain just another replaceable face. Level 2, the enforcer. You are no longer just standing guard. Now you are trusted with enforcement duties. A weapon rests at your side, heavier than you expected the first time you carried it. With every assignment, the tension grows stronger. You are told to protect shipments, intimidate rivals, and respond quickly when conflicts arise. The streets feel different now. Every stranger looks like a possible threat. Every passing police vehicle forces you to calculate escape routes instantly. Your lifestyle begins changing. You avoid predictable routines. You rarely stay in one place for too long. Conversations become shorter and more cautious because you know investigations often start with small pieces of information. Some of the people who trained with you at the beginning have already been arrested. Others were injured in violent confrontations that escalated faster than anyone expected. Sleep becomes irregular. Even quiet nights feel tense because you know calls can arrive at any moment, sending you across the city for urgent tasks. You begin noticing how quickly positions change here. Someone active today may disappear tomorrow without explanation. The money is better now, but the pressure is constant. You feel both more powerful and more vulnerable at the same time. As you walk through the city after another long assignment, you realize something unsettling: the higher you move, the fewer people around you remain. Advancement here is not just promotion. It is survival under increasing danger. Level 3, the lieutenant. You now lead a small team. People wait for your instructions, watching your reactions carefully because their safety often depends on your decisions. Responsibility feels heavier than you expected. Instead of focusing only on your own actions, you must monitor the behavior of others, ensuring no one makes mistakes that could expose the group. Communication becomes more structured. You change phones frequently, avoid digital trails, and speak in coded language. You are aware that law enforcement agencies often track mid-level coordinators like you because information collected at this level can reveal entire networks. Surveillance is no longer just a rumor. It is something you assume is always happening. You start trusting fewer people. Even friendly conversations feel risky. Informants exist everywhere, sometimes motivated by fear, sometimes by deals offered during arrests. Several individuals you once worked with are now serving long sentences after investigations that lasted years before suddenly ending in coordinated raids. Despite the increased income and authority, daily life becomes tense and carefully controlled. You rarely relax completely, even during private moments. Leadership sounds powerful from the outside, but in reality it places you directly in the path of both rivals and investigators. As you review reports from your team late at night, one thought keeps returning: reaching higher levels may bring influence, but it also brings visibility, and visibility is often what leads people at this level straight into prison. Level 4, the Plaza Operator. You now oversee operations across an entire territory. Every decision you make affects supply routes, finances, and the safety of dozens of people working below you. Your phone never stays silent for long. Updates, warnings, requests, and emergency messages arrive constantly. Managing territory brings prestige, but it also brings intense pressure that never fully disappears. Authorities pay special attention to people at this level. Investigations become organized and long-term, sometimes involving multiple agencies working together. You know financial transactions can be tracked, communications intercepted, and movements observed. Because of this, you change locations frequently, using temporary safe houses rather than permanent homes. Stability becomes rare. Your personal life becomes distant. Family members may live far away for safety reasons, and visits must be carefully planned. Even celebrations feel tense because public appearances increase the chance of recognition. Some territory managers before you were captured after years of surveillance that they never noticed happening. Rival groups also see territory leaders as strategic targets, which means security escorts accompany you almost everywhere. Freedom slowly disappears, replaced by constant planning and caution. The wealth at this level is far greater than anything you once imagined, yet your daily life becomes smaller and more restricted. As you review maps and reports late into the night, you begin understanding a difficult truth: the more territory you control, the more forces begin closing in from every direction. Level 5, Regional Commander. You now coordinate multiple territories, managing operations that stretch across large regions. Your schedule is filled with strategic meetings, negotiations, and logistical planning. Decisions must be calculated carefully because mistakes at this level can affect hundreds of people and attract massive law enforcement attention. Travel becomes highly controlled. Routes change constantly, vehicles switch frequently, and trusted security teams monitor every movement. Intelligence agencies often dedicate years to tracking regional commanders because capturing someone at your level can disrupt entire networks. You know investigations may already be underway even if you cannot see them. The pressure is intense. Conflicts between rival groups must be handled strategically, while internal discipline must be maintained to prevent exposure. Betrayal becomes a real possibility, sometimes coming from unexpected directions when individuals attempt to reduce their own sentences by cooperating with authorities. Many who once held positions similar to yours are now serving decades in high-security prisons after coordinated international operations. Others lost their lives during violent confrontations that escalated suddenly. Your financial power is enormous, but the number of places where you can safely appear becomes very limited. You begin realizing that leadership at this scale rarely lasts long. Some fall through arrests, others through internal conflicts, and very few ever step away peacefully. The higher the command, the shorter the typical career. Level 6, Inner Circle Leader. You now sit within the inner circle where the most critical decisions are made. Strategies involving expansion, alliances, and conflict resolution pass directly through discussions that include you. Wealth flows continuously, but so do risks that are far greater than before. At this level, both governments and rival organizations consider you a high-value target. Daily life becomes extremely controlled. Meetings occur in secure locations, communication channels are carefully managed, and every new contact is evaluated cautiously. Trust becomes rare because information leaks at this level can lead to massive operations against the entire leadership structure. Authorities often build cases for many years before acting. Financial intelligence units track complex transactions, international agencies exchange intelligence, and specialized teams prepare coordinated arrests designed to capture senior figures simultaneously. You know that even a single trusted associate cooperating with investigators could expose entire networks. Movement becomes limited. Public appearances are avoided. Even personal routines must remain unpredictable. Despite the extraordinary wealth surrounding you, the sense of freedom you once imagined is gone. Looking around at others who reached this level before you, the pattern becomes clear. Many eventually disappear into lifelong imprisonment, while others fall during internal struggles or enforcement operations. Power at this height does not bring safety, it brings constant pressure from every direction. Level 7, the cartel boss. You have reached the highest level, the ultimate leadership position. From the outside, people imagine unlimited power, luxury, and influence. Yet your reality is far different. Every movement is protected by layers of security. Locations must remain hidden, travel plans change at the last moment, and only a very small number of people are allowed close to you. Governments dedicate specialized units solely to locating individuals at your level. Intelligence networks track communications, financial flows, and connections across multiple countries. Large-scale operations are often planned for years with a single objective, capturing the top leadership. You know that somewhere, analysts are studying every known detail connected to your network. Freedom becomes extremely limited. You cannot walk freely in public spaces, cannot live openly under your real identity, and cannot trust easily. Even celebrations feel guarded and temporary. Wealth surrounds you, yet your world becomes smaller than ever, restricted compounds, hidden residences, constant surveillance awareness. History shows what usually happens at this level. Some leaders are eventually arrested and spend the rest of their lives in maximum security prisons far from everything they once controlled. Others die during raids, internal betrayals, or conflicts that escalate unexpectedly. Very few ever retire peacefully. As you sit in a quiet, secure room, surrounded by guards and silence, you realize something many never understand at the beginning: reaching the top did not mean escaping danger. It meant becoming the primary target.